Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today's video we are going to be testing out $1 foundation brushes. These are off the website SHOPMISSA.com. I currently have them pulled up right now and I've been wanting to test these out for a while because they're literally $1 a piece. So both these brushes are $2. One is more of like a rounded kabuki and then one is more of a flat top kabuki. So we're both going to be testing these out today on one side of our face and we're going to see how they are, if they're worth $1, if they're worth nothing. So if you want to see these brushes tested out, then please keep on watching. So like I did say, you have both of these pulled up on their website right now. They are both $1 and currently they're all sold out. Actually, I don't even know how they're all sold out, but they are all sold out. So we have the F1 Flat Top Kabuki, which is this little guy right here. As you can tell, it is completely just flat right off the top compared to this guy, which is the round top kabuki. If you can't tell, if you look at the very top of the brushes, you can see some hair sticking out. So I'm not too sure if they're gonna shed or how that's gonna work, but they are both $1. So I figured why not try it out, you know, we could save a couple bucks, especially if you like Morphe brushes or something. These could be kind of similar. So I do have dry skin, so I'm going to prime. I'm using the Ulta Hydro Prime Primer, and this is just really for some good moisturization and cooling. So I'm just going to smooth this all out on my skin, and we're going to use one brush on one side and then the other brush on the other side of our face. That way we can get both of them tested out. And this primer definitely does get a little bit tacky once you spread it out. And then we're also going to be using a foundation that I know works and that I love very, very much, which is the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse Airbrush Finish Foundation. This is in 20 Classic Ivory. So I have two giant enormous pimples right here that need to be covered up because they look horrible. So we're going to do about 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and we're gonna take this is the AOA Studio High Definition Brush F4. This is the round top kabuki. There's like a hair right on top of this that is irritating, so I'm gonna pull it out. So we're gonna take the round one and do it on this side. So I don't know if I should put on the brush first or put it on my face first. Let's just put it on the brush first. So we have some on the brush, and I'm going to dot it all around and I guess start stippling and blending it in. Now, I am a sponge person. I use my sponges like every day I put makeup on basically. So I don't really use like makeup brushes for foundation and concealer. I mean, to be completely honest, the reason I don't is because every brush I've ever used has given me not that great of like an outcome with foundation. It doesn't look right. I don't know, I feel like also me using this compared to when I always use like my sponge gives me fuller coverage in this, which I know a sponge is actually supposed to shear it out, but I'm getting fuller coverage out of using a sponge versus this. It is blending out really nicely, and the one thing I am noticing is I'm not getting those really like bad foundation streak marks from a brush. That's another reason I would never use a brush, is because I would get those. So it definitely looks good in that area, but I feel like I'm not getting the normal coverage I would get with a sponge. So we're gonna try the other brush now. I'm gonna put 2 pumps of foundation on my hand again. And now we're gonna try the flat one and see if that makes a difference. And these brushes aren't as dense. Like when you put them to your face, you can see they definitely have some give to them. Okay, I can already tell you right now, I don't really like the feel of the flat one. The flat one's a lot more kind of squishy feeling. The round top kabuki is definitely a lot more dense, but this one is getting the job done. I just prefer the round one. I just don't feel like, again, I'm getting the amount of coverage I would get. Okay, so don't really like the flat one. I'm gonna switch it back over to the round one and keep working this in. I'm gonna add a little bit more just to the areas that I normally, well, I wouldn't normally have to add more with a sponge, but like I said, I don't really use brushes that often. And it is doing a good job. Like for $1, I think this is doing a really good job at blending it out. Now the longevity of these brushes, I couldn't really tell you how long it's gonna last, obviously, because I have a hair. See, it's already starting to shed. Like I said, I couldn't really tell you how long it's gonna last. They are $1. I'm sure these are synthetic hairs that they are made out of. And I know the brand on the website has like face, eye brushes. They have highlighting, contour brushes. They have everything you could ever want on there, honestly. So they have more brush-ins than just these. Brush-ins, they got more brush-ins than these. I think it did pretty good actually. My foundation, like I would use this on an everyday basis now that I know how it performs. But my foundation looks really, really good on the skin. So I definitely prefer the round top over the flat top. There is a difference in my opinion. I definitely feel like the flat top is a lot more like, not as dense as the round top, if that makes sense. So I prefer the round top, but they both look great. But we are going to apply concealer with them also. So I'm going to take the Maybelline Better Skin Concealer. Again, another concealer that I absolutely love. And like, it's one thing to apply a foundation with a brush, but to blend out concealer with a brush, that's the real test right there. So I'm going to go in with the round brush first and start to dab this out. It's blending it out nicely. I think I prefer just foundation. If I had to blend it out, it would just be foundation, but it definitely doesn't look bad. This eye is totally freaking crooked compared to this eye, but oh well. And if you are wondering, I did film this eye tutorial. It's like a get ready with me style video. That is what we are left with here. So I think for $1 brush, this did pretty well. I just have to say I definitely prefer foundation with this over concealer. I think it does a little bit difficult to blend out the concealer just because of the size, but I will use a sponge for concealer, but I definitely think it looks good. My foundation isn't streaky, it's not patchy, it's blended really well into my skin. So I definitely think it looks good. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. So I will link the two brushes down below. Again, this is the flat one and this is the round one. I prefer the round one over the flat one, but I will link them both down below. That way you can also see those brushes and the other two brushes. One thing I do have to say, these shed also. I have about 4 or 5 of the little hairs sitting on my desk in front of me. So they do shed, so keep that in mind. But other than that, I really like them. It gave me a really nice, smooth finish. I definitely had to add a little bit extra product to get the coverage I would normally get with a sponge. But if you can look past that, I definitely think that they are great. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And if you want me to test out any more like $1 products from that website or any other websites that I don't know about, because I think the only one I know is just this SHOPMISSA website, let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and I will see you guys later. Bye y'all.